Zillow revised its home price predictions for 2022. You're definitely going to want to watch this one. Big news coming out of Zillow's analytics department this week that they are now revising their predictions for what home prices are going to do in 2022. So at the end of the year, in December, they were predicting an 11% increase year over year in home values throughout the country. And now that we're 45, 50 days into the year, they've revised that to a 16.4% increase in home values in 2022. Now, if you look at some of the research, initially, the end of last year, when all these predictions usually come out, all the experts, specifically Zillow, CoreLogic, Redfin, Goldman Sachs, Fannie Mae, and CoreLogic, were all kind of aligned that home price and home value appreciation was going to pull back a little bit. Values were still going to go up, no question, just not at the same rate we saw in 2020 and in 2021. And now all of a sudden, these guys are all over the place. And we're seeing some people predicting prices of 3%, which is Redfin. That's their prediction year over year. CoreLogic's predicting 1.9%. Goldman Sachs is at 13.5%, and Fannie and Freddie are at the 7% plus range. So that's a wide range of what's going to happen with home values. So what does all this mean? Here's what I know. These people are wrong all the time. It is way too early to make predictions and revise predictions 50 days into the year based on the data that we have for a couple of reasons. One, seasonality is back in real estate. We are seeing that folks are following that seasonal moving schedule. Restrictions are getting lifted. Kids are back in school full time for the most part. A couple days here or there, but nothing like 2020 or 2021. So all these things that eliminated the seasonality. I mean, people are back in the office. They're going back to work. Things are returning to pre-pandemic state. And that means life's going that same way. So that's one factor very clearly. There is going to be a seasonal flow. Secondly, we know what the Fed plans to do. The Fed hasn't done anything yet. They've got meetings coming up, and they're anticipating raising that key interest rate 2 to 4 times this year in 2022. And what that means is that decision to raise that key interest rate, it influences mortgage rates. They don't set mortgage rate, it influences them. And when that happens, affordability is going to go down. We've already seen rates jump up north of 4%, which is a pretty big movement from where they were Q3, Q4, and all of 2021. And that's caused buyers to be able to afford less. And I'm not saying prices are going to go down. What I'm saying is, I don't think any of these guys know what they're talking about. They make predictions and they're wrong all the time. If I was wrong like that when I advise clients, and if our team was wrong that often, we'd be getting fired left and right, just like the weathermen. And would predict these big snowstorms and then nothing happens. Here's what I know is going to happen. Prices are going to continue to climb. We're also going to see more sellers come back to the market as things return to normal. Inventory is going to be the biggest obstacle to get over. However, there's nothing available. People say this all the time. Realtors are constantly saying there's no inventory. It's just not true. There were over 7 million homes that sold last year compared to 6.5 million in 2020 and 6.1 million in 2019. So more homes are selling. There's no stale inventory that's out there. So now that we're coming back to the seasonal flow, there's just a ton of demand coming from millennial home buyers. That's what's driving this. And they're going to buy a home regardless of the rate. 4% is still historically low. So my anticipation is we see prices increase somewhere in the 10% range, and it's going to stay that way until inventory comes up significantly. Remember, right now in the greater Philadelphia area, suburban counties, the Tri-County area, we're less than a month's supply. And in Philadelphia, it's less than a 2-month supply. We've got to get to that 6-month plus range, and that's when we're going to see the market go the other way. And that's not going to happen for a long time. You're definitely going to want to watch this one.